Today, we're doing a deep dive into the most powerful off-grid inverters on the market. We're doing a side-by-side comparison of the EG4 12000XP and the EG4 6000XP. You're watching Taddy Digest. I'm Tad. Let's get started. Both the 6000XP and the 12000XP are split-phase all-in-one inverters designed for off-grid living and hybrid solar systems. They're powerful and scalable, but each targets a different user. So in today's video, we're going to be deciding which one's best for you. Let's dive right into the EG4 12000XP specifications. Power output, 12,000 watts. Surge capacity, 18,000 watts for 5 seconds and 15,000 watts for 10 seconds. MPPT inputs, 2 MPPTs per MPPT, totaling 4. Max usable solar power, 24,000 watts, 12,000 watts per MPPT. Max recommended solar input, 28,000 watts. Battery voltage, 48 volts. Max charge and discharge current, 250 amps. Max input power, 24,000 watts. Communications, RS-485, CAN, Wi-Fi. Monitoring, EG4 monitoring app. Dimensions, 34 inches tall, about 20 inches wide, about 6 inches in depth. The weight, 104.7 pounds. Parallel capability, you can put up to 6 of these units together, totaling 72 kilowatts. Efficiencies for the MPPTs, 99%. Idle consumption, 70 watts. Cooling, fans. Certifications, UL 1741, FCC Part 15 Class B, ingress protection, IP20, and the warranty, 5-year standard warranty. These are the specifications for the 12000XP. Before we move any further, I want to give you a special discount code you can use to save some money on this inverter. You can visit signaturesolar.com. You can use discount code TADDY100 to get $100 off of this inverter. You only have till May 8th, but if it's after May 8th and you watch this video and you still want a discount, you can actually go down in the link in the description and click that referral link that I have, and you can get $50 off upon checkout. Now, let's take the cover off and see what's underneath the hood. If you haven't seen the full installation video of the 12000XP, I put a link in the description, a link to that video. Go check it out to learn how to install it. Now let's take off the cover, see what's inside. So up here, we got our removable covers with filters. We've got our Wi-Fi dongle. We have our battery breaker. We have our battery mechanical lugs. We've got our terminal block for start-stop generator and then the RSD switch. We've got our communication port for our battery and then our parallel port. We've got our smart load breaker, our gen port, the grid port, our MPPTs, and we've got an RSD switch. Up here, we've got our digital display. Now, let's talk about some of the things that I like about the 12000XP that stand out, that are different. Some of the things I really like about the 12000XP is the extra MPPTs, having the ability to have so much PV input power. That way, if we have excess power, then we can put that power somewhere. And we use that smart load breaker to do that. We can configure this breaker so that when our batteries are fully charged and we have excess PV power, then that breaker can power a certain load. Maybe an EV car charger, a well pump, a water heater, anything you can think of that you may need to power. Now, let's put this inverter to the test. So let's use our meter and put the dial on volts AC, and let's see how much power we've got to our load panel. 240 volts of AC power. So we have 120 and 240. Now let's check out our lugs. We've got 240 volts. Now I'm going to put my clamp around one of my wires, go into my load panel, and I'm going to put it on amps. Now we're gonna power up some loads. And this right here will handle 12,000 watts, but it also has that surge capacity. So if we wanted to start a 5-ton air conditioner, we could do it. Let's turn on the 10,000 watt turbo garage heater first. Power. Turn up the temp. We'll be able to see on the display how much wattage we're using. Look at that, 10,000 watts right now. 10,000 watts. So right here, look at this, 42.40 amps. Our nominal AC output for this inverter is at 240 volts, 50 amps. At 208 volts, 57.7. Right now, we're using 42 amps. So let's go ahead and plug in some more loads. Let's plug in this air fryer. Air fryer's on. Let's see what we're using now, 11,377 watts. And we're at 54 amps. And we just tripped it. So we just tripped. Let's go ahead and unplug the air fryer. See, we got the yellow light. Anytime you have a yellow ring, yellow light, that's a warning. When you have a green, it's normal. So green light, let's see what happens now. Inverter's ramping down. It looks like, wow. So it automatically reset itself. We didn't have to go in, turn anything off, turn anything back on. It automatically reset. And now we are charging our batteries. We're powering loads, and we've got PV input power coming in. Now we should be able to turn this back on. It's back on, cranking up. So we used 54 amps and then it tripped. I've got 16 415 watt Sirius solar panels matched with that 12,000 XP. And I've got 8 per string. Now that we've covered the specs for the 12,000 XP, let's go over the 6,000 XP. First, power output, 6,000 watts. Surge capacity, 12,000 watts for 3.5 seconds. 11,000 watts for 5 seconds. MPPT inputs, 2 MPPTs and 1 MPPT per input. Max usable solar power, 8,000 watts, 4,000 watts per MPPT. Max recommended solar input, 10,000 watts. Battery voltage, 48 volts. Max charge current, 125 amps. Max discharge current, 140 amps. Max AC input power, 9,000 watts. Communication, RS485, CAN, Wi-Fi. Monitoring, EG4 Monitor app. Dimensions, 18 inches, width, 25 inches tall, and about 5 inches in depth. Weight, 52.9 pounds. Parallel capability, you can stack up to 16 of these units. Efficiency, MPPT, 99%. Idle consumption, 30 watts when you have PV, with battery, 50 watts, and with your AC load, 50 watts. Cooling, cooled by fans. Certifications, UL 1741, FCC Part 15 Class B, Ingress Protection, IP20. Warranty, 5-year standard warranty. Now let's see what's inside. Taking off the cover for the 6000 XP. We got our Wi-Fi dongle. We've got our battery COM port, parallel port. We got our green terminal block for the RSD generator stop start. We've got our battery breaker. We've got our battery lug. We have our load breaker, our grid breaker, our generator breaker, our MPPT. On the far right, we have our PV switch, and then we have our display right here in the center. What do I like about this? It's very small, so it doesn't take up a lot of space. Still comes with your load breaker, your gen breaker, and your grid breaker. So we can still run this to a critical load panel, or maybe back up a little small tiny home and Just doesn't take up a lot of room, but if you want to make it scalable, it's scalable. So we can put, up to 16. So very small, that's what I like about it. Now let's put it to the test and power some loads. Let's see what kind of voltage we can expect with your meter on volts AC. Measuring at the load breaker, we've got 248s going to our critical load panel. Our AC nominal output should be 120, 240 volts, we should have 25 amps. 120, 208, we can expect 28.8 amps. So if you want to operate maybe a refrigerator and a mini split and maybe a cooktop, then you can do that. If you've got an electric skillet, something like that. So if you're off grid, you're going to be able to cook your food, you're going to be able to cool your little tiny home or your shed, and that may be perfect for you. Let's go ahead and measure at our load breaker, and then we've got a breaker turned on to our receptacles and our lights. That's the reason we have lights. 240 volts. We're going to go ahead and start plugging some things in. So let's start with the air fryer. Air fryer first. Air fryer's on. Let's take and put our clamp around one of our wires to our load breaker. We're at 12 amps, see that? Now let's go ahead and plug in our portable air conditioner. Power on. Let's turn our temperature down. 65. Air conditioner's running. 39 amps on startup, I seen that. And now it's 20 amps. So we were able to start that air conditioner and it's running, we're pulling 20 amps. Now, let's plug in our electric skillet. Set it for 300. Let's see what our amp draw is. 34 amps. There we go. Tripped. After overloading, the inverter reset and now it's operating correctly again. If we have that EG4 monitor app in our smartphone, then we can see real-time settings and status. So we will be able to see that happen even if we're away from our inverter. I've got 10 serious 415 watt solar panels mounted on a Chiko ground mount, and that's what I matched with the 6000XP. If you want to learn how to install the Chiko ground mount, check out the installation video that I put down below in the link in the description. Go check out Signature Solar for your panels, your mount, or your inverter. We just compared the top off-grid inverters. And if you've got heavy loads and you want to back up a home, I think you know the 12000XP is where it's at. If you've got a tiny house, maybe a little cabin or a shed, and you've got some lighter loads, you know the 6000XP is where it's at. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Hope you learned something. If you did, let me know in the comments what it was. If you got a question, remember, questions can lead to new content, so put your questions down in the comment section. If you liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe, and smash that bell, ding, so you know what I'm doing. You've been watching Taddy Digest. I'm Tad, and I'll keep you cool if you let me.